Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Either or, number three, I teased this one a little bit before. You got to attach your wagon. Well, it's Auburn or Kentucky. You got to attach your wagon. You're going to go all in. You're going to be the biggest bandwagon fan for one of these programs because you think that they have the best chance to go out and win you a national title. Is it Auburn? Or is it Kentucky? T.O., I'll go to you first.
Kentucky. For we're talking upside, and we're talking national title. I'm picking Kentucky just because. Long story short, I just love the blend of their guys too. I talked about the blend a little bit with Hoiberg. I think the same thing applies with Kentucky, especially with Bradshaw back in the fold. Look, I watched that Auburn game yesterday, and the fact that they were able to win a rock fight says a lot. They got some guys. There's a lot of toughness on that team. But just as far as talent is concerned, whenever you're playing in the Final Four, it's always good. And we've seen it over the past couple of years to make sure that you have the best player on the floor on that given night. And here's the thing about Kentucky. On a given night, DJ Wagner can be the best player on the floor. On a given night, Dillingham can be the best player on the floor. On a given night, and it's been most nights, Reed Shepherd can be the best player on the floor, and then Aaron Bradshaw could be the best player on the floor. So it's just a matter of so many more offensive weapons. Not saying Auburn doesn't have it. Not saying that by any stretch of the imagination, because like I said before, love Auburn, love that team. If we're picking a national championship contender with pieces, with size, the way they're playing offense this year, I have to go Kentucky. And I love the Auburn team, but I have to go Kentucky.
Vanna?
I'm going to go with Auburn. And I totally respect what T.O. just said about upside, but I still worry about Kentucky with 2.5 minutes to go in an NCAA tournament game and it's tied up and it comes down to half-court offense. So I think that's very real. I think that happens, and I still have my reservations with who's taking the shot, even though they've got a couple of guys who can do it. And just if a game is in a half-court for half-court X's and O's, what's going to happen? So Auburn, to me, Bruce Pearl has shown he can do it. And did it in 2019 with a remarkable run to the Final Four. And we were talking early in the season about Aiden Holloway, and the fact is Holloway has cooled off here from the field. But Jalen Williams has 20-plus points in 3 of his last 5 games. He's really scoring the basketball at a high level. Chad Baker-Mazara has come off the bench and been a microwave guy. He was not against Texas A&M, but this Auburn team guards. Mm-hmm. And they guard at an extremely high level. They're better defensively than Kentucky. They are currently 6th in adjusted defensive efficiency. Kentucky is 44th. So that's why I say half-court game, late in the game. If Kentucky's the most lethal transition team in America. But if they're not getting that, they're a little bit different. Auburn can deal with that. They can beat you in a rock fight. They can beat you in a close game. They've got Johni Broome. Johni Broome is just holding things down for this team in the front court. And he didn't even have a great game against Texas A&M. Broome and Holloway should have combined 3 for 10 from the floor, and Auburn beats Texas A&M by double figures. That tells me everything I need to know about this team right now. KD Johnson, isn't he your nightmare fuel guy?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He's still running on that nightmare fuel. He comes in, he hits a couple of threes for them. He's a surge guy, he's a spurt ability guy. Donaldson will help them as the season goes along. Bruce is not afraid to play 8 or 9 guys. Now, Kentucky could do that too, to their credit. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to hitch my wagon to Auburn. I'm going to hitch my wagon to Bruce Pearl. I like the way that this team guards more than Kentucky does.
So on December 21st, I did an episode of After Dark with Matt McCall and John Henson. And one of the things that we did there was updated Final Four predictions. I had Auburn and I had Kentucky, both of them making the Final Four. I am very high on both of these teams. I think that I would probably have to go with Kentucky in this situation because of the upside, right? I think your point about they have like 4 or 5 different guys who can be the best player on the floor on any given night is probably the most important thing that I would probably buy into. And it makes me a little bit less concerned about the defensive issues because I think that at some point you're just going to have somebody go off. And when somebody goes off, you'll be in enough games that are close enough where you'll have a chance. Like the Florida game is a perfect example. DJ Wagner and Antonio Reeves both went nuts, and it didn't matter that Reed Shepard and Robert Dillingham didn't play well enough. It kept them close, and they were able to win it down the stretch. To me, that the defense is less of a concern for Kentucky than the fact that I'll be honest. I really like Aiden Holloway. I'm a little bit concerned about Aiden Holloway being your best guard, right? Like he's a freshman. He's a little bit smaller. He's a little bit of a microwave scorer. I think that in a best case scenario, when we're talking about like top 5, top 8 teams, you probably want him to be like your 6th man. It's fine if we're talking top 20, one of the better teams in the SEC, a second weekend kind of a team. If we're talking national titles, that would be, am I crazy, T.O.? Like, I just feel like you're buying into a freshman that's a little bit smaller, that's a little bit shot happy, maybe a little bit inefficient at times. As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68 each and every week of the college basketball season. We have a special offer that will be available starting on Tuesday, January 9th and running through Monday, February 12th, the morning after Super Bowl 58. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, in honor of the big game, you can use the bonus code FIELD158 and you'll get $158 in free bets on your first wager with BetMGM, regardless of whether or not you win that first bet. Here's how you make it work. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD158. Deposit at least $5 and place your first wager on any game. You'll receive $158 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your bet. Just make sure that you use that bonus code FIELD158 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly, which happens quite a bit. When you cross state borders, you just log into your existing account and fire away. You don't have to create separate accounts in each state. It's easy, it's simple, it's clean. And most importantly, we have some fun stuff coming up for the heart of the college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odd boosts, and my favorite, a nice juicy parlay boost. So download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Field 158.
We're buying into Dillingham in the Final Four. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, but it's not just Dillingham. They have Reed Shepard, who I think is their best guard, and they have DJ Wagner, and they have Antonio Reeves.
That's where I'm at. I mean, it just depends on, like, when you have that many options that can go for 25, and it would surprise me a bit if, like, we're kind of waiting on DJ Wagner, waiting on him, Elite 8 game, 30. Like, one of those things. That's where the selling point is for me on that. Just so many different guys, and they've been able to kind of inch some of those guys along. Like, DJ hasn't been great at times, but like, because there's so many other guys on that roster, they've just been able to, like, hey, we're going to continue playing you because the other guys are going to hold their pants up. We'll be fine. Yeah.
So for the record, I think DJ has kind of reached that point where he's arrived, right? The last 3 games, he's averaging 15 points. He has not taken more than 10 shots in any of those 3 games, 9 assists to 5 turnovers. I think DJ he's officially here. He hasn't had more than 3 turnovers in a single game this season. And he's putting up like pretty efficient.
There's value in that.
I partially took Auburn because once upon a time I took North Carolina to end Mike Krzyzewski's career. When you're the out, there's nothing wrong with being the outlier,
and there's nothing wrong with backing this Auburn team. Like, they're awesome.
They're
awesome. They are really, really damn good.
They won a different game yesterday.
Yes,
they won a different game.
Here's the debate, right? Great debate. Are we buying Kentucky to the degree that we're buying because they've been down in recent years?
No.
You see my question, though? Do you get
I see what you're saying. There's kind of a renewed excitement because Kentucky's quote unquote back, right? I would say no. Well, they're lost to Kansas, and then they lost to
UNC Wilmington,
which is basically, that was a bunch of freshmen that were asleep at the wheel.
Yeah,
like, ever since then they've reeled off 6 in a row. I'm not I'm a lot less worried now. They got a tough one coming up at Texas A&M Saturday, so we'll see how they deal with that environment. But I'm a buyer, and there's some credence there. I think a lot of people are excited that Kentucky's quote unquote back, but it's I think it's more for good cause. Kentucky's playing, what are they, 14th in the country in adjusted tempo. They're playing fast, man. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun game to watch.
All right, so I have another great embrace debate for you guys, because the game that I'll be going to next, that is not like a local game, is heading up to Providence for Ed Cooley's return. We're gonna go Georgetown at Providence,
That's not gonna be a
and
good
follow
game.
that up with Xavier at UConn. That's where we're
Huge
at
game.
right now. I think the next trip that I want to make, out of all the games in college basketball that I would have a chance to go to, I think I want to go to Kentucky at Auburn. It's going to be February 17th. It is All-Star weekend, so it'll be it's going to be the ESPN game. It's a 6:00 tip, which means it's going to lead directly into the dunk contest for NBA All-Star weekend. I think that is, to me, that is the game to circle on the college basketball calendar. Just, I mean, look, the style of plays, how loud Auburn Arena is going to be, the fact that these are two like Final Four good teams. Is that crazy? Is there a better game that you would circle to target in terms of anything in college basketball that doesn't have to do with tournaments, conference, or NCAA?
That's got to be the best game of the day, you would think.
It also happens to be Marquette at UConn that day, and Kansas at Oklahoma. So it's a loaded Saturday. But like, that's a standard Saturday moving forward. Like the rest of the college hoops calendar, like the Saturdays are really, really good. Every Saturday has really good games.
Didn't we talk to Bruce a couple of years ago? He said, "Yeah, come on down. You can do it from the where the students camp out and stuff, and they'll be camped out that game."
Oh yeah. Knowing Bruce, he'd probably let us do it from his backyard if we really wanted to.
Yeah, he probably
It'll be
would.
fun.
Yeah,
probably would.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.